Okay, so I'm here with Mrs. Allison Hayes. She's a fifth grade teacher, and I will be interviewing her because I'm interested in being an athletic director in my future. So I feel like a leadership role in a school is pretty similar. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, Jake. I am Allison Hayes. I am a fifth grade math and science teacher, as well as a team lead, a mentor teacher, and I've hosted student teachers.
Awesome. So I have about 10 questions for you. It'll start off with first one. So how long have you been working in this field slash position, and what drew you to it?
Okay, I've been working 15 to 17 years now, all in teaching so far, all in grades K to 6. Initially, I went into it because I really just enjoyed being around kids. I babysat when I was younger, but that is not what has kept me in it. I do love the teaching part, but that's not really what keeps me in it. I like the people side of it. I really like seeing growth as leaders in the kids, and I've really enjoyed helping the adults as part of my job.
That's awesome. Yeah. How would you describe your leadership style? And if you could give some examples, that would be great too.
Sure. My style is very straightforward. I'm very realistic. I don't like to sugarcoat things, but I think there's a way to deal with everyone to bring out the best in them. I think the biggest thing is being clear and consistent. Everyone knows what to expect when they're in my classroom or when they work with me as an adult. Um, I don't think you need to be super intense. I don't think you need to stand on your head to entertain people. But I do think that everyone just wants to know what to expect and how to get there. They want encouragement. They don't need to be yelled at, but everybody needs high expectations. So I like to keep things calm, organized, fair. That's big with me.
Sounds good.
An
Yeah.
example, I'm sorry, you said an example.
Yes, please.
Um, Sure. So, for example, when I am asked to work as a mentor teacher, I know that somebody coming in doesn't have the same experience and hasn't been through so many scenarios. So I always start much more hands-on, explaining as we go, and I back off as I see them starting to take the lead. I model things, I walk them through it, I give very specific feedback, and I find the strengths in people and really encourage them to use that. Everybody has a different style. You can't ever expect everyone to be the same. So I have seen people do an amazing job, but all for different reasons. It's what you tap into when you're paying attention.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm a sophomore in college, about to finish my sophomore year. So I am getting into the job field soon. So I was just wondering, like, based on your experience, like, what are some leadership skills a young graduate needs to be successful at work?
Well, that's a good question. I think probably the top of the list is be reliable, be someone that everyone can count on. I know that sounds simple, but I've watched generations. You're not sure if they're going into it fully wanting to dive in. So be reliable, show up, do your job, do more than is asked of you. If you say you're going to do something, follow through with it. Maybe don't always ask what to do, but figure it out based on the context of the situation. A lot of people struggle with that, I think. And you don't need constant praise. You don't need constant directions. A lot of times, what's important is just diving in there and doing what you think needs to be done and doing what you say you're going to do. Um, I guess, I don't know. I guess that the other thing would be don't go in acting like you already know everything. There's a lot of people you can learn from
Hmm.
in every industry, good or bad, and you will take every one of those lessons and it molds your eventual leadership style. So I would say be very willing to ask questions, to take feedback, never get upset by it. People only give feedback if they care. Um, and start to form your own style. Never copy anyone, but decide what works for you.
Yeah, that's great advice. So currently in our class that we are discussing a lot about emotional intelligence. So I was just wondering if you'd be able to describe the importance of emotional intelligence for effective leadership in your position.
Sure. I think this is probably the most important thing to be able to be successful, probably in any position, honestly. From my administration to me with my students to the adults I'm helping, it's really just being aware of what's going on and not reacting in an emotional way that would make things worse. So you have to know when to speak up. You have to know when to stay quiet. You don't always need to chirp in. You know how to handle people, even if they're not at their best. So when you see something happening, you're not immediately going in and attacking, but you're trying to build them back up, figure out what's going on, and redirect. I think it really is just being aware of the situation around you, being able to read people, and being able to stay calm no matter what is happening around you.
Gotcha. Yeah, so have you adjusted your leadership style to like suit a situation at hand that's like difficult, conflict, just stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think you'll see the exact same thing as an athletic director as I see as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Every group you deal with is extremely different. If you are stuck in your ways and have one way you say you're going to do things, it won't work. You're going to turn people off, make them not want to work for you. So I think what I've found is I have to personally get to know the people around me and then decide what is it that I need to be able to lead. Do I need to be more hands-on with them? Do I need to back off a lot more? Do I need to be very strict? Do I need to be looser? It just, everybody is so different, and you have to figure out the group you're working with. So as an athletic director, I imagine the parents you're dealing with have one demand and concern you have to be able to handle,
Mm-hmm.
and very different with the students that you'll work with, the coaches that you'll work with. They all are going to want something different from you, and I think you have to be really adaptable with that.
Yeah, makes sense. How does your organization, so I guess the school in general, develop their leaders?
You just do it. I think
Mm-hmm.
in particular, teaching in general, you don't go in and have somebody holding your hand the whole way. I mean, obviously, like I said, I've been a mentor teacher, but they're in the classroom all day long from day one. So you're thrown into it and you learn as you go. And I think
Yeah.
I wish a lot more jobs were like that. I feel like we make people too dependent on someone else telling them what to do. And at least with my job, you better figure it out or you're going to have a huge amount of people running the show.
Yeah.
So I think that would be something important in every job. I can picture it as an athletic director. You jump in there, you know the things you've liked from other people that have been your leaders in the past, and you find a way to lead so that people want to follow and listen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so can you please tell me about your mentorship style in general?
Sure. I'm asked to mentor a lot because I think that I'm not trying to intimidate them. I'm not trying to act like a know-it-all. I keep things really simple. I'm very honest. I don't go too high and I don't go too low. I just think if you're not overwhelming someone with a lot of feedback and you're picking the most important things to talk about, that's helpful to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'd rather always point out what they're doing well and then pick one or two things to focus on that we're going to work on together instead of you're terrible at this. I mean, nobody's motivated that way. So I do start strong with the helping, but then I just ask questions and let them kind of figure out step at a time until I see the independence and confidence growing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure you've been through a long journey of leadership, like progress in general. I was just wondering if you have like three main leaders that you admire and like aspire to be like.
Wow. All right. Tough question. I do. I absolutely do. Let me think who they are. I would say one is the first principal I ever had. He was unbelievable to work for. I wish every principal I've ever had was like that. He showed trust from day one. He said, I trust you. I trust your decisions. I'm backing you up no matter what happens. Make mistakes and learn from them and move on. There's no problem with that. It was amazing experience to work with him, and I wish that everybody had that chance because he let you mess up and then on your own learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that I've worked with a coach before actually who worked with my kids, and he was so professional. He never let his emotion control the game, which is very rare in sports, especially with kids.
Yeah.
I watched him just give back give the kids the feedback in such a professional way that they all bought into it. Nobody was allowed to get down. Nobody was allowed to feel like they were the best. They always worked hard for them. That was really impressive. Third one. I would say probably the academic coach at my school. She is so positive that it's
Mhm.
hard not to want to work hard for her. Anything she asks, everybody will jump on because she shows so much gratitude back to us. So I think from all of it, leaving emotion out of it, staying positive, and just being a leader that promotes independence and making mistakes, I think those are three qualities I always admire.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Um, so I know you said you've been working there for or in this position for about 15, 17 years, and I'm sure things have changed a lot. So how has things changed in past 10 to 15 years?
A lot. It's completely different from when I started till now, just
Yeah.
completely. Everything now feels faster. I'm sure it does for students. I'm sure it does in the workplace. It's more intense now. There's more expectation, there's more communication, and there's a lot less downtime. A lot is thrown at people, and from the students all the way up to every position. And I think that people just need, if they're going to survive it and thrive, I think that they need to focus more on being flexible, on leaving I keep saying it, but I think it's the most important, leaving the emotion out of it and
Yeah.
making very rational decisions, being reliable. I think using data is, we all know now, is like so different than when I first started. That was more
Mhm.
on a gut feel, which is fine. But now we're using data to drive everything. More communication. And as far as I'm concerned, the more proactive that I am and that people are, the less problems we have, because there are a lot of problems now that didn't used to be.
Yeah.
Everybody has high demands now, and some things just you can't control. So be very proactive, knowing what they will be, so that that never is an issue.
Gotcha. Okay, and then final question here that I have for you. I was just wondering what advice you would give to someone like me who aspires to be an effective leader currently and in the future.
Sure. I would say keep it simple. People overthink things a lot of times, and what you really want to be is someone that reads people well, somebody that treats people well, somebody that can be counted on. You should always do what you say, show up on time, show up early,
Yep.
do your work. If you set your example by action, and I think that'll hold true through your whole career. If you just do the things that you're asking people to do, there's so much more chance that you're going to get the best out of people.
Hmm.
Words don't mean anything if you're not following through. And I think the biggest thing I would say is don't make excuses. If you are a leader, everything falls on you.
Yeah.
Every single problem, issue, mistake you're putting on your own shoulders. You can't expect other people to fix it until you do. So know that going in, and know that you can't get defensive, you can't get lazy. It's things happen, you take the responsibility, and people will start following that just by example.
Hmm. Well, got you. Thank you so much for all the advice, your time. I feel like this is a very productive interview, talk, phone call. So thank you again.
Of course,
Uh,
thank you so much for asking the questions, and good luck in your future.
Thank you.